This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
All right, it is 6:03. I will now call to order the January 26th meeting of the Easthampton Conservation Commission. This meeting of the Easthampton Conservation Commission will be conducted remotely via participation online to the greatest extent possible. Every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. And in the event that we are unable to do so despite best efforts, we will post on the City of Easthampton website an audio or video recording, transcripts, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Should an interruption occur in which the online meeting ends abruptly, both the in-person and online meetings will not be restarted, and all agenda items will be automatically continued to the next scheduled meeting. And this meeting is being recorded. We're not used to being fully remote. Apologies.
And I did receive confirmation from the clerk on Thursday that if I put that note in red up there, that everything's good from an open meeting law perspective to hold this meeting.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Ava. So are there any public concerns, non-agenda items? Hearing none, we will move on to public hearings. We have a request for determination of applicability for 20 and 30 Ballard Street, map 114-12 and 113-13 for confirmation of the wetland boundary. We began talking about this item last time and continued because we were wanting to get some additional information and updates on the wetland boundary flagging in some locations. And I am presuming, based on weather conditions since then, that we probably have no updates and need to continue. Is that accurate?
Yep, that's the case. I know that during the thaw, Ryan Nielsen of our Levesque Associates got out there and adjusted some of the flagging, and he submitted a revised plan. But I did not have time to get out there before the snow came. So I think we should continue it. Maybe it's worth it to continue 2 meetings down the line. I don't really anticipate us myself being able to reevaluate the delineation in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
So our next meeting is March.
No, I don't think so, Jay.
All right. Why am I confused then here?
It should be February something, February 9th.
Okay. No, I'm looking at a different date. Yes. Okay.
So
continue to February 23rd. Is that the date after that?
That is, yeah. Our next 2 meetings are February 9th and February 23rd.
And has there been any conversation with the applicant about continuing 2 meetings out?
I haven't gotten a chance to speak with him about it. So I suppose if the commission wanted to play it safe, we could just continue it one time and then continue it again if needed.
I think that's probably the better bet since we haven't had a chance to talk to them about that, just to make sure that everybody's okay with that.
Great.
All right. Motion to continue to February 9th at 6 p.m.
Second.
All those in favor, and I think we do have to do roll call because we're remote. So
Correct.
August?
Aye.
Buttrick?
Aye.
Weeks?
Weeks, you're muted.
Aye. That better?
Ryan? Thank you.
Aye.
Laura?
Aye.
Carr?
Aye.
Motion carries. So we'll reconvene on that item on February 9th. We have no requests for certificates of compliance this evening. Do we have any updates, Ava, on enforcement actions?
I don't have any updates on enforcement actions.
Okay, moving on then to open space. Any updates on Echodale?
No updates on Echodale.
And what about Borkowski?
Yeah, Borkowski. Okay, so we received this page from our partners at NEMBA with a little bit of information about the trail tread.
Okay.
And I went ahead and included this page in our submission to Natural Heritage, which I submitted on January 20th. So the rest of the submission, the commission's seen. There were no changes other than what we discussed. And so our first response from them, we should hear on February 19th, whether or not our application is complete. And then we'll take it from there. So my next steps I know are the wetland delineation and corresponding NOI, which will also have to wait a little bit until we have a thaw. But given that their timeline for actually offering us a full review is 3 months, I think we should be safe.
Okay. And is there anything else we should be doing in the meantime, or we're just kind of in that holding pattern?
I think we're just holding for now. There was one other thing I did want to update the commission on, which is that I met with Calais Ellis from Smith College, who's spatial data. He runs the spatial data lab at Smith College. And he is working on he offered to conduct an RTK GPS survey of one of our trail systems. And so I thought it would be a good Borkowski parcel would be a good chance for us to have a more accurate trail system. So he's going to be working on that with a couple students this spring.
Great. That should be helpful. Okay. Any other thoughts on this from anybody? All right. Moving on then, we're into compliance updates. What do we need to talk about, Ava?
We're flying through. Okay, so I did do a site visit to 35 Pleasant, which I hadn't been to in a little while. We've been receiving our reports, but I just thought I would share with the commission some photos from my site visit. As I'm sure all of you have seen that development has progressed quite quickly. They've really thrown it up fast. So things look to be in order, though under snow. The silt fence was towed in and taut all along the river. There's the river down there. There was one location where some debris had fallen on the silt fence. We'll see that up here. And I notified the person who's been sending me the inspection reports from Norwich Properties and Kevin Perrier, and they said they'd attend to that. So we have our stockpile to the left here and the footings for the back. They were able to do the back footings. They were unsure if they were going to do those this season.
Have they addressed the gully yet, or is that a springtime item? I think it's a springtime item.
Yeah, they're not planning on addressing the gully until the 4th phase. So we're currently in this is the first phase, with phase 2 being the work inside the church.
Gotcha.
Because they're still going to be utilizing the gully for stormwater management for the impervious area on the other side of the church, where phase 3 and 4 are going to occur.
Yep.
So this was the pile you can see here that I asked them to address. And this is the back footing of the building that's closest to the resource area. So this is our closest to the resource area spot of the project. And that's the stuff that was on the silt fence.
Ava, as far as you know, are they planning to just keep working straight through the winter, or will any of this changing conditions impact their progress?
As far as I know, they plan to continue working. Frankly, I'm surprised that they were able to get the footings of this back building in, because it wasn't in November, so they must have snuck it in the January thaw. So my understanding is they intend to work through the winter. Though who knows? With a foot of snow right now, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I guess I'm wondering in particular about that stockpile, and if it's going to be utilized further, or if it needs to be stabilized.
This one right here.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I'm happy to ask about it. If it's under, I guess I'm curious what the commission's perspective is, if it's under, if it's frozen and under snow.
I mean, I guess right now it's frozen under snow, but if there was a big melt, rain, wind, storm, seems like it could pretty quickly destabilize if they're not using it. I don't know how they would stabilize it. They can't grow anything in it unless they cover it.
Well, we ran into this issue with the cemetery last year and asked them, I forget in the end if we had them cover some of those piles or what we had decided. Can you remind us, Ava, where we landed on that?
Yeah, I believe where the commission landed was surrounding the base of the pile with erosion controls and then, continuing weekly reports through the winter, even while they were doing work.
I think they tried to seed it with rye and it didn't take or something.
Yeah, so I would begin by asking them if this is intended to remain untouched now for some time and just pose it to them of how they intend to make sure that it remains stable per their order of conditions. Yep. And then we can go from there if we need to.
Great. I also wonder if it might be possible, if they are planning on leaving a pile for some time in the winter, if it'd be possible to just move it further away from the resource area. If we can see the silt fences right here.
Yeah. I know space is really at a premium on that site, but that might be certainly something to ask them if they don't have a plan. Anything else on this one?
I don't believe so.
Okay. What's next?
What's next is just a couple general business items.
Oh, okay.
We have some minutes from January 12th.
Have folks had a chance to review the January 12th minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Any additional discussion, or are we ready for a motion to accept them?
I'll move that we accept the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor? Weeks?
Aye.
Buttrick?
Aye.
August?
Aye.
Ryan?
Aye.
Lore?
Aye.
Carr?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. What's next, Ava?
Next, we have just the wetlands ordinance, which is with the city solicitor, and I know that he's taking a few weeks with it. So that's the stage where the wetlands ordinance is.
Okay.
Next, we have I made a note on the agenda that we were going to review the Nashwanik Pond winter use regulations, which are I put that on the agenda, and then with the snow day and everything, they're not actually ready for the commission's review, though they will be coming your way at some point. The mayor drafted these up, and it's essentially to address usage of Nashwanik Pond during the winter. And it looks like he's hoping that the Conservation Commission, Parks and Recreation Commission, and a committee of City Council will adopt these winter use regulations for Nashwanik Pond. I'm not exactly sure I was a little surprised when it got sent to us. I wasn't exactly sure how, what the jurisdiction of us. Typically, we don't regulate like recreational usage of a resource area.
Yeah, and I think until we really see what they are, it's hard to have much of a sense. But it seemed like from what you had shared, Ava, it's largely geared around safety, correct?
Yep,
Or
that's my
understanding.
Yeah. So it might just be an opportunity, I guess. They might once they're in a slightly more finalized form, they might just be an opportunity for the commission to weigh in on whether or not they seem in alignment with the ecological health of the pond.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
that sounds good.
Once we have those ready to go, I will share them out with you. The next I have is just an announcement about the MACC Spring Conference on February 28th. It seems as though in an effort to get Western Mass commissioners there, they're offering 2 free registrations from each Western Mass commission. So if any of you want to come, please let me know. We can send more of you as well. We have the funds for it.
I'm thinking about it because it's actually taking place at my undergraduate alma mater. So, which I haven't probably been to since the day I graduated, but
Commissioner Carr, you could eat in the dining hall again.
just don't ask me to go to the chapel.
I'll be
When do you,
so you can always come heckle from the back if you want.
do you think you were presenting him?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. When do you need to know by, Ava? Is there a deadline for taking advantage of that?
No. Yeah, I mean, it'd be great if we can register you ahead of time. So it'd be great to know, like, a week beforehand, like February 21st. I don't need to know. They let MACC is very understanding of city finance speed, so they will often pay after the fact, after the conference time. So
Okay.
if you could just give me like a week of advance notice. Yes, Deb.
Is this all in person or is there any online?
It's
I believe
in
this is
person.
all in person. Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay.
We can reimburse you for mileage as well, if you give me some advance notices on that, if you'd like.
Is it just for a day? It's just for a day. You don't stay over.
It's just a day, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. There's I don't know, you probably haven't been before, but there's a lot of good sessions on all kinds of different topics.
Yeah, it's really, I would say it's really worth the time of it. You learn a lot and meet a lot of interesting commissioners from, it's interesting to get a sense of what other commissions are like in other parts of the state as well.
Is anyone else thinking of going?
I
I'm
usually,
considering it. I did go last year, but I have a lot of commitments on the weekend, so I'm trying to figure out if I'll be able to do that.
Yeah, that's why I'm hesitant too, but it does sound interesting.
yeah, I usually go to this one too. Ava, if we're not otherwise going to be making use of the 2 free registrations, let me know and I'll snag one of them, but otherwise I can get it paid for through work. So either way.
Okay, excellent. We'll do. Great. Okay. Well, just go ahead and let me know, think about it, and let me know. Let me know if you'd like to come. Great. Lastly, I'm just gonna represent my other committee for a second, and Jay's other committee, where the Community Preservation Act committee is working, as you know, on the preservation plan, which you all so helpfully contributed to, and we'll have our big public annual meeting on March 19th at 6:30, and it should be fun. We'll present the whole plan to the community and have a lively discussion about our goals for CPA funding for the next number of years. And there is a survey if anyone has an interest in filling it out and throwing in more of your perspective to our planning process. Yeah, but the Conservation Commission's section made it onto Appendix A, all good. So the list of projects that we described was received well.
Excellent.
And that is all I have for you.
All right. Anybody have anything else?
No.
No.
This is a record for 2026 for sure. Can we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Ryan?
Aye.
Laura?
Aye.
August?
Aye.
Weeks?
Aye.
Carr?
Aye.
Buttrick?
Aye.
Motion carries. It's 6:22. We are concluding this evening's meeting of the Easthampton Conservation Commission, and our next meeting will be February 9th at 6 p.m. And we should be back to the usual hybrid format at that point. Thank you, everyone.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.